What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Yeah, unfortunately my voice has gone back to being terrible again, and I kinda sound like John Laurinaitis at times. Oh, no, wait a minute. Scratch that guy's a creep. Anyway, join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a terrible new WWE allegation surface, the real reason Michael Cole missed SmackDown, WWE on Netflix still unknown, WWE encouraged to sign Zilla Fatu, WWE make a random change to a stable, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at terrible new WWE allegations surface. Our top story today takes a look at yet more disturbing allegations that have surfaced regarding Vince McMahon. Rolling Stones has a new article which features former WWE writers giving personal insight into McMahon's behavior within the creative team. Unfortunately, their experiences aren't positive, and it's claimed that the former WWE chairman created a kingdom ruled by fear. Former writer Michael Leonardi would reveal that McMahon got angry with him for removing a racially insensitive line from a script. He turned to me and he said, "So you didn't give me what I wanted." I said, "I understand, I'm sorry." We all went over it and felt good about it. We just made the small tweak. And then he just started yelling at me. It was such an intense moment. I walked out with my tail between my legs. The script called for Neville to speak up and tell everyone else that he's got a dream too, and that dream is to win the Royal Rumble. Another worrying allegation came from a former female writer who discussed what it was like in the writer's room. They would touch me where I would have to come closer to them. They would pull me by my waist to come somewhere or move closer to them. I'm just super aware that it's kind of close to my butt and most people don't touch me by my waist ever. I thought this is strange. In relation to what the atmosphere was like when McMahon was present, this was what was concluded. When Vince wasn't there, it was amazing to see how things opened up. People started talking and creativity flows. It's just so clear how much his influence and the way he ran things would actually stifle the process. McMahon's side has been quick to issue a statement, and McMahon denies all allegations. A spokesperson for McMahon denied Leonardi's account in the statement. The spokesperson acknowledged that McMahon had an extremely hands-on approach with WWE scripts, adding, "That's why the idea of him suggesting or approving the use of famous Martin Luther King Jr. quote for a punchline to be used by a white British character is so ridiculous. It simply didn't happen." Now, there were numerous examples within the article of bullying, sexism, and blatant abuses of power. The article is available on the Rolling Stone website to read in full, and hopefully none of the practices that were in place when McMahon was in charge are currently implemented in WWE today. Next up, the real reason Michael Cole missed SmackDown. Michael Cole was absent from SmackDown this week, and it was labeled to the fans that Cole was undertaking a special assignment. Thanks to a recent interview that Cole delivered with WFAN, we now know that Cole is currently on vacation in Mexico. Cole is set to be in the country for 10 days getting some much needed rest. Also during the interview with WFAN, Cole confirmed that he has indeed signed a new long-term WWE deal, and this deal will see him move back to Raw in January when the Red brand moves over to Netflix. I still feel I have a lot left in me. I just signed a long-term deal with the company. I'll be doing this for a few more years. I'll be back on Netflix doing Monday Night Raw in January. It's unclear what this means for newly signed Raw play-by-play commentator Joe Tessitore, but it likely means that Tessitore will simply move over to SmackDown. Next up, WWE on Netflix is still unknown. Even though there's less than 80 days until WWE moves to Netflix for Monday Night Raw, key details regarding the move still haven't been confirmed. During the post-Bad Blood press conference, Triple H stated that WWE and Netflix are trying to work out the exact duration of Raw, and according to a new report from the Sport Business Journal, these discussions are still ongoing, so nothing has changed in that regard. And both parties don't have long to come to some type of agreement, and it may be the case that Raw stays a 2-hour presentation, whereas SmackDown, which is airing on a more traditional platform, that being the USA Network, will be WWE's new primary 3-hour broadcast. The curious thing about the Netflix deal is that surely Netflix must have known how much live content they will be acquiring. When TV rights deals are secured, they are traditionally based on the amount of TV that is going to be produced. More details need to be established regarding the nature of the Netflix deal, and in terms of the WWE stance, it is likely that they will push for a 3-hour product. They have produced a 3-hour Raw for all of the Triple H era. This is of course with the exception of the past few weeks, so it may be easier to simply stick with what's working. Additionally, having a 3-hour show instead of a 2-hour show is more financially lucrative for WWE, and that will likely be the determining factor for WWE's standpoint. Next up, Dominik Mysterio coming for singles gold. Could Jey Uso be about to embark on a new feud over the Intercontinental title? Well, Daddy Dom himself, Dominik Mysterio, set his sights on winning his first singles title on the main roster. Speaking to Foundation Radio, the Judgment Day member said, We're done with Priest and Rhea, the Terror Turds, whatever they like to call themselves, twins 40 years apart. But anyways, now that we've gotten rid of some dead weight in the Judgment Day and we've replaced them with people like Raquel Rodriguez and Carlito, and we've got Liv, it's been really good for the Judgment Day. We have Finn and JD as a World Tag Team Champions, we have Liv as a Women's World Champion. I would say I have some unfinished business with Jey Uso. There's something he has that I might want, there is something of his that I want, and that's definitely not Rhea. While Mysterio may have every intention of dethroning main event Jey, he may not even have the chance, as Bron Breakker is set to receive his rematch for the title tomorrow night on Raw. Fans are theorizing that this is the match in which Jey will drop the title, and most fans believe that the Bloodline will cost Jey the match, which will allow him to re-enter the Bloodline vs Bloodline saga ahead of Survivor Series War Games next month. Next up, WWE encouraged to sign Zilla Fatu. Could Zilla Fatu be WWE bound? Well, NXT commentator Booker T believes that WWE should sign Fatu to a contract, and he's pushing it. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker stated, "My thing is this, we concentrate on reality of wrestling, and our thing is, I can't think about anything other than trying to get my young man Zilla, because he's talented, get him into the next level, and the next level for me, for Zilla, is the WWE. This is his landing zone, that's his safe zone, the WWE and his family. I really believe that. One thing about this business is that you're going to need people that are going to watch your back, because you're going to make mistakes when you're young, and if everybody just turns their back on you, I don't know, that's on them, but for me, this young man has nothing but talent." He also continued by saying, "Has he made some mistakes? Of course, we all make mistakes, but I'm definitely going to try and get him all the way to the WWE and beyond just because he's family. His old man is looking down on him. When he won the Reality of Wrestling Championship, his dad was looking down on him. Reality of Wrestling is Zilla Fatu's safe zone, because one thing about this business that you're going to deal with a lot of different people, and you have to know who to trust. At Reality of Wrestling, he's at home." Now, Fatu is the son of the late great Umaga, which would make Fatu a great fit for some type of inclusion in the Bloodline story arc. Next up, WWE make a random change to a stable. WWE dark matches are usually designed as special showcase matches to send the fans home happy, and after this week's SmackDown, they decided to add a new member to the Judgment Day for one night only. Following the Blue Brand going off the air this week, the New Day teamed with Sami Zayn to take on WWE Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD and Pete Dunne. Dunne as a one-night only member of the faction was unique to see, and based on the attraction this has received on social media this weekend, it'll make for interesting viewing to see if this followed up on TV in the coming weeks. Next up, JR reuniting with former commentary partner. Jim Ross took to Twitter this weekend and stated that he would be interested in reuniting with a former commentary partner. Surprisingly, it isn't with his good friend Jerry Lawler, it's actually with Jim Cornette. Ross stated that he'd be open to a reunion between he and Cornette as the two worked together in various promotions and even called some of the hottest moments of the WWE Attitude Era. And finally, a WWE Champion names his dream opponent. Now, our final story today takes a look at a new interview from WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Speaking to WLTX News, Rhodes was asked to name his dream opponent past or present, and Rhodes named AEW contracted star and Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts. So I always change my answers so frequently, and then people online, this is a polarizing subject, so I always like to say the answer is going to change a lot, but I had recently started thinking about the way I am as a wrestler, and I guess a character and how I'd fit into WWE, I'd really like to get in there with Jake the Snake Roberts. Rhodes then proceeded to put over Roberts in a major way, because Jake the Snake, when he was a bad guy, was really just like psychologically menacing and different. He wasn't yelling, it wasn't like the big bombastic 80s promos, he was really sinister, like ahead of his time, but Jake Roberts. It's wonderful to see Roberts getting praise from WWE's top guy, as Roberts is without a doubt one of the most underrated wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Apologies for my voice again, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.